Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. It's time for a sales update, and sales have been good. And it's so funny because you'll see my behind the scenes and it says we're down, and yesterday we were up. It's just so crazy. It really depends on what falls off, but I feel like we've been having some great sales. I am going to omit the $50 and higher sales in this video though, because I'm going to do a higher dollar video for you later this week. And so this is going to be more bread and butter, $15, $20, $30, $40 sales. So good price points and stuff you should be able to find pretty easily and at a fair price. And it's selling now. And I think that's the important thing. You really need to know what is selling now. And I'm going to show you eBay as well as Poshmark sales. We've had some great Poshmark sales. Mercari has been slow for us this last week, so not going to show any Mercari sales on this video, but let's go ahead and get started. All right, we are going to start off on the back door. As I always do, I think it's very important for me to be transparent with you. I tell you what these items actually sold for. A lot of them were offers. I tell you what I paid, tell you how long I had them. What I don't tell you is like taxes and I have an employee and things like that, because I think that situation is different for everyone. I am in Florida. We have no state sales tax. So if you're in another state, your state sales tax is going to be more, and you're going to have more come out of that. So what I am telling you is cost of the item, profit after the fees. That is it. We're not getting into all that other stuff because honestly, those calculations would take forever and I don't have that time. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right. So as you can see, today we are at $151. It is about 10 o'clock in the morning, so pretty early still. For the last week, we have done 2,696. We are still at 14,000 for the month, so that is really not horrible, but it is down 5% from last month. So I've got to get that up, and we are only $20 away from that $40,000 90-day total. So close. I'm sure we'll get it back over that today. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these eBay sales of what has sold to make up that 2,700. But don't forget, the higher dollar ones are being pulled from this video because they will be in a video later this week. All right, we are starting off with this KC Fans cab, and this one actually was here a little over a year, so it did take a little bit longer to sell. It did sell for $19 though, so I didn't have to give a big discount even though it was here for a long time. And you can see it does say Reed. This is a United States Marine Corps cap, and this one is a snapback. You can see there is that KC tag, and you can see here there was a little bit of like paint and wear on it. That's why we did have the Reed on it. You can see it's on the bill there. It does wrap around. But this one I picked up for $1, so it still ends up being about a $15 profit. Next up actually went out to a viewer. This one went out to Miss Sharon, and she got this one for $34.99. She did pay full price. This one was just listed back in May, so about 3 months. This is one of my dollar clothing finds. So it is close to a $28 profit after fees. Took that 3 months. So Miss Sharon, I want to say thank you so much for your purchase. I greatly appreciate it. And we'll take a look here. So there's the Bamboo K. This was actually a really good brand and a good find. It is a 2XL. It was in excellent condition and took the 3 months. And Miss Sharon, again, I greatly appreciate your purchase. Up next is a vintage Johnson Brothers covered bowl, creamer and the sugar. It is Friendly Village pattern. This one I picked up at the thrift store. I paid $5, $5 or $6. It might have been $6. It was on the 50% off sales day. And this one sold in less than a month. It sold very fast at full price. So it's about a $15 to $17 profit. I honestly thought it would sell for more, but when I got home and comped it, the prices weren't where I wanted them to be. But I want to tell you guys, it really doesn't matter what you pay. What matters is what those solds are showing you. So if you overpay, that's on you. You can't expect to get more because you made a mistake. So I still made a profit, but not as much as I was hoping to. And Johnson Brothers Friendly Village, the serving pieces are typically good pickups. The plates and bowls and things aren't as valuable, so I actually left a bunch of them when I picked this up. But great, great sale, very fast, and still turned a profit. Next up is a Starbucks Rainforest Mushroom Green Silver Metallic Tumbler. I still grab Starbucks, and most of them are not overly valuable. You can see this one did sell for full price at $24.49. It took about 6 months, so it was a little bit longer, but I got it for $2 at the thrift store, and this is a ceramic one. I do still pick up the tumblers, and if you have not seen my video on tumblers, I will pop that up top, because there are some of these that are rare that sell for hundreds. So I typically will grab most of them, even though I'm not sure what they're going to go for, because a lot of times I don't have signal, but the majority of the time they're worth at least 15. So if you get them for $1 or $2, it's okay. This one was in great condition. You can see here on the bottom, the Starbucks, it was a smaller one, just 12 ounces. And again, took 6 months, but still was close to a $17 to $18 profit. Up is a Chatterbox Tandem Pro 2-rider passenger intercom communication system. This one is like for motorcycles, for two riders to be able to communicate back and forth, but it didn't have the headsets. So it was really just the actual system. Sold for $41.99. I picked this up in a lot down south. It was a personal buy. Somebody I bought items from multiple times before. So I'm actually only $1 in. So this one's close to a $34 profit. And this one sold in about 2 months. So watch for motorcycle gear and little electronics like this. You can see it has a $64.99 price tag on it, but it sold for that $41. So never use those price tags to comp, because sometimes stuff's worth more than what that box price says, and then other times it is worth less. Next up, I wanted to show you that lace is still selling. The lace is still selling. Now, it has been listed at this point for about 6 months, but I am so low into this, like $1. This one I took a best offer of $29.39. So it's about a $25 profit. But again, we're at that 6 month point, and we did not measure them. So we show like how wide it is, but I got hundreds of spools of lace, and I just did not want to take the time to measure each one. So I priced them according to, I don't know, I had like some randomness in my head, but they have been selling very well. So apparently I did it good, and I am happy with the price because it was a good profit. Up next is this 1920s glass bead collar. This one is a really, really neat piece, and these are kind of a hard sell, but this one was just listed back in May, so only about 3.5 months for this one to sell. I did accept a best offer of $35, and this one is an international sale. I was going to Japan. I got this in a lot for $5, so a little bit over a $20 profit on this one. And here you can see it had beautiful long glass beads. This thing was really, really heavy, and it is simply a collar that could go over or under a shirt for the ladies back in the 20s. And I love this stuff. I will continue picking it up. Some of it doesn't sell as high, but I'm happy with $35 on this one. Up next was a really fast sale. And when I say really fast, like under a week. So this is a 31 perfect pendant sling bag crossbody organizer purse. This one I actually got, and you're going to see a few things coming up here and in that high dollar video later this week. Dalton's friend's mom, Shannon, and you'll actually see her in my catch treasure hunting video either today or tomorrow as well. She used to be a reseller, and she's not doing it anymore, and she brought me a lot of inventory that I bought from her. So I paid her $1,000 for the lot of everything. I would say if I had to kind of calculate on this one, maybe about $5 in. So about a $10 profit, but it sold so fast. And I could have priced a little higher, but that $20 mark looked like it was right where everything was selling at. It was in very, very good condition and a very, very fast sale. Next up is this really neat inlaid Baltic amber and cognac. I don't know. My pronunciation sucks. Sterling silver pendant. This one was listed back in March, so about 5 to 6 months to sell. I am about $5 in. It sold for $34.29. So I did take a lower offer because we had it listed a while. Here you can see it is stamped JZ there in the 925, and it was just 6 grams. So really, really light. And typically, like if you buy sterling by the gram, most places it's about $2. So this would have cost about 12, but I got it in an online lot for 5. So this is about a $28 to $30 profit. Next is another really, really fast sale. This one was just listed back in July, and it sold for a best offer of $36. I picked this up at the thrift store for $5. So it's about a $22 to $23 profit after fees, but pretty fast. Really neat Czechoslovakian amphora pottery base. So beautiful. You can see there it is marked on the bottom, and this was a really, really good find. Beautiful piece of pottery. Definitely keep your eye out for stuff that looks like this. Next is another viewer sale. So I do tell you guys, when viewers buy things, I don't get a ton of viewer sales, but when I do, I greatly appreciate you guys. So this is Miss Kelly that purchased this one. This is a beautiful vintage Judith Jack marcasite. Judith Jack is a name you want to know, and they are marked with JJ. This one was actually listed a year ago, though. So this one sold to Miss Kelly at full price. I greatly appreciate that. Here, I'm trying to see. The JJ is almost like in a diamond there. It's very hard to see, unfortunately. But watch for JJ on pieces, because Judith Jack stuff is typically worth picking up as long as you get a good price. I paid $5 for this, so this one's going to be about a $28 profit after fees, but it did take a year to sell. Fast sale. This one is a Max New York. This one was just listed back in May, so about 3 months. Not super fast, but not slow. But this brand is not an overly popular one. So this one also had some issues, and I will show you as we have go through the pictures. So this one sold for a best offer of $30. I'm about 5 in, so it's about a $20 profit. So this one here, let's see, it was missing this grommet, which I think would probably be an easy fix. It was not something I wanted to do with being at that $30 price point, but the purse was in excellent condition other than that missing grommet, and sold pretty fast and about a $20 profit. This sucker surprised me and took forever to sell, like a year and a half. This is a Betsy Johnson gorgeous throw pillow. It did have some issues, but I ended up accepting a best offer of $20 on it. I picked it up at the thrift store for $2. So it's about a $14 profit. But again, it took forever, and I really did not expect that. Now, I will tell you, there were like really no Betsy Johnson pillows on, so I really couldn't get a true sell-through rate on this, and I really thought it would sell fast. It did have one stain on it, but good profit. I'm not sure if I would pick up Betsy Johnson pillows again, though. Really, really fast sale, and this was somebody who wanted it for $40. I told them I would take $40, but they weren't able to pay until the end of the month, and it was still there. So once they were able to pay, they sent me $40 offer. I accepted. This is an old HP laptop. It was not tested. I did not have a charger. Sold as is, where is, like they get what they get. I only paid about $10, so it's about a $25 profit after fees. This one had some wear to that keyboard there. Look at that. Had some wear. It was definitely not in the greatest of conditions, but if somebody fixes computers or sells parts, this would be a great buy for them. And this was a fast sale, sold in about 2 months. And this one sold in about a month and a half. I was really happy with the sale. This was not a name I was familiar with. This one's Brierley Royal Crystal. It's a hand cut. I did put vase or toothpick holder because it really depends on what somebody wanted to use. And I recommend doing that because you don't know what they're searching for, you know? So I'm about $5 into this in a lot. It is close to that $20 profit point and sold fast. So remember the name Brierly? It looks like quite a few of their pieces can do well. And this was a very, very fast sale. Pillow, and I love pillows. You saw the Betsy Johnson. This pillow is a different story though. This pillow was just listed back in May. So 3-month sale, paid $2 for it at the thrift store. It sold for $25.19. The cool thing about this pillow is it is unbranded, and I will pick up unbranded pillows if they're cool like this one. So you can see I put blue tropical cotton banana leaf, palm pattern, throw pillow nautical. So I got all those keywords in there, and it was just a really nice pillow. So if I feel quality on the pillows, I will still pick them up if they're not branded. And this one is close to a $20 profit in only 3 months. Next up is one that is like, if you know me, this is one of my weaknesses, and I probably will still keep picking them up, even though this thing took over 2 years to sell. Over 2 years to sell, and it sold for $20. I only paid $1 at the thrift store though, and somebody took the time to cross stitch this and put it in a frame, and I just appreciate that. I appreciate the handmade stuff. So $20, $15 profit. Took absolutely forever, but I will keep picking them up. Next up was a sweatshirt I got for myself, but I never wore it. And I didn't really like it, so I was kind of cleaning out through my clothes. I need to do that again and put it up for sale. It was listed back in March, and I took an offer of $14.69. I'm going to consider it profit because I bought it for myself. I only wore it a couple of times, but I don't know. Something about the fit or something. It wasn't working for me. So we'll say it's a $10 profit, and it's sold in about 4 months. Next up is a sale that just came this morning, and these are so cool. These are vintage Viscara carved wood Tikimogs. It is a set of 6 of them, and these I accepted an offer just right before I started this video of $45. They were listed in January, so they took about 6 to 7 months to sell. This year is flying. I do not feel like it is September. Is anybody else with me there? So here you can see these are really, really neat. I was probably about $5 in. So there's that sticker, how I knew they were SC Bizarra. And yeah, really, I'm happy with that $45 sale. I was about that $5 point in an online auction lot, and they're about a $35 profit. All right, that was eBay, but there are some good Poshmark sales coming up. Again, Mercari's been this week. It's okay. Overall, though, Posh and Mercari are about $1,000 to $1,500 each a month, which I think makes it worth it for List Perfectly. I know I keep saying I'm doing it. It will be scheduled for a week from Tuesday is when I'm going to do the live listing party. While Dalton's in school, we won't get interrupted, and I'll be able to show you how the AI lister works. I'll be able to answer all your questions about List Perfectly. I know a lot of you have had some questions, so I'll be able to demonstrate while we're live. And I will also say, I do think List Perfectly is worth the $69.99 a month, even if you are not cross-posting, because now they have the AI lister, which I'm going to show you next week, that creates listings just from your photos, and it saves hours and hours of time. So even if you're not cross-posting, List Perfectly is worth it. If you are cross-posting or thinking about it, 110% is worth it. And if you'd like to give it a try, you can use my code, the Nurse Flipper, all one word, all caps, and get 30% off your first month. And I think you will see the value in it right away. Now, I will tell you, I would recommend the highest plan, which is the $69.99, and you want to opt into the Pro Plus so you get that Express AI lister, because that's where the money's at, my friend. So let's go ahead and take a look at 5 Poshmark sales, and then we will wrap up this sales update video for today. All right, first up on Posh is a really, really cool piece. This is a black cast iron candle holder, Gothic dragon, Griffin figure. Really, really cool. Sold for 38. I actually got this in a cart lot from an auction. So I bought a bunch of stuff on a cart for like 60 bucks. And it probably cost me about $5. The payout on this was 28, so it's about a $23 profit. I didn't even see this on the cart. So when I found this, I was like, this thing is so friggin' cool. So definitely a neat piece, very, very heavy. It is cast iron and amazing sales. Sold in about 2 months on Poshmark. Next up is a really, really nice vintage cutwork lace. This is a big tablecloth. This is a bank. And you can see that I just had a good sale, which you'll see in the high dollar video later this week. This is big. So I showed the corner because I wanted to show that cut work. I don't believe in showing the whole thing on the first one because what you really want to show on that is the detail or the pattern on that. And this one sold in about 2 months. Now it does have some staining, but it was so, so beautiful. You can see in this one, the cut work goes throughout, and this is folded in half. This was a really, really big tablecloth. So they can be a little bit harder to photograph. But again, I want to point out on that first picture, I'm showing the corners so they see the detail. And this one I paid $5 for in an online auction lot. So it's about a $25 profit after fees. Next up, this one sold pretty fast too. This is a vintage nighttime creations. I did put long nightgown, house coat, lace trim, ruffles. So it sold for 25. Payout was 20. This is a dollar buy from the thrift store. So this is a $19 profit that sold very fast. I love vintage nightgowns and robes. I actually have a research video on some of these that sell for hundreds of dollars. So I will pop that one up top for you guys now. And watch out for them. Definitely don't miss the nightgown section when you are out thrifting. Next up is a little Department 56 animated up and away witch Halloween decor. Watch for Department 56. Halloween is coming. I think actually that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a Halloween research video next for you guys on Wednesday coming up. So this one sold for 34 and it sold in under a month. I am about 10 in, so it's actually only about a $15 profit, but it's a really, really neat piece. So we wanted to show that we did have the cord and we showed the witch a little bit closer up. But Department 56, some of these pieces can be quite valuable. So make sure you keep an eye out for my video Wednesday, and I'm going to show you guys some high dollar Halloween stuff to look out for. This one is another dollar thrift store find, and I picked it up for $1 because it was camel hair. It wasn't even branded. This is a men's 100% camel hair blazer. I put 2-button, chest 40, length 32. I just put the sizes and I got it for $1 at the thrift store. Payout was 34 because Poshmark fees are 20%. So it's still $33 profit. So it had the dry clean only. It had that 100% camel hair tag, but it was unbranded and sold for 43 bucks. So less than a month too. This was a fast sale. So really happy with this sale. And this is going to be the last one I'm going to show you. All right, so good eBay sales, good Poshmark sales, Mercari in the trash for a week. It happens. And there's some other Poshmark sales that are high dollar that are going to be on that video at the end of this week, as well as some really good eBay sales as well. So next video is going to be Wednesday, high dollar Halloween stuff for a research video. Tuesday, do not forget to join us. I am hoping Rod's still a little bit under the weather. He did miss the last podcast. Hopefully Rod will be back, and we will also have Caleb from Bear and Bison and Leroy from Blood, Sweat, Sell on with us this Tuesday. If you don't know, we do a live reseller podcast every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Make sure that you join that. And I've been trying to remember to tell you guys, I have a newsletter that I send out every week with kind of updates of what's going on at home, as well as some sales tips every now and then as well. So I'm going to put the link again to my newsletter down in the comments so you guys can join. And don't worry, I don't spam you. It's like 1 a week max emails. And so join that, sign up, come see us Tuesday for the podcast, and watch out for that video on Wednesday.